a guardian ad litem volunteer, as told by Chief Judge Jonathan Sjostrom of the 2nd Judicial Circuit. Jonathan Sjostrom is the Chief Judge of Florida's 2nd Judicial Circuit, which includes 6 mostly rural counties of the Big Bend and the city of Tallahassee. He's also the circuit's dependency judge, a rarity given that few chief judges assign themselves this role.
I like dependency. I like to say that some people have the social worker gene and some people don't, and my colleagues, I think, largely agree. I've got a good dose of the social worker gene in me.
Sjostrom is known for treating everyone in his courtroom with respect and for giving kids apples. He'll talk with the child in his chambers, accompanied by the guardian ad litem volunteer, and they'll come out munching an apple.
Judge's first responsibility is to be a neutral magistrate. There's the child's best interest is in statute, and there's a reason that everyone has the absolute right to be fully heard, and so that's a legal responsibility, and it's a practical responsibility. You can't, if you have preconceived notions, judges in the wrong line of work.
He says dependency judges rely on guardian ad litem volunteers to help them make the best possible decision about a child's best interests.
Me personally, and every judge I've ever known wants nothing more than to hear what the guardian ad litem has to say. I may not be able to the law may not permit me to follow that opinion, but that's the court's eyes and ears.
A guardian ad litem spends time with the child in every setting: the school or daycare, the foster home, the biological parent's home, and any services or supports, such as medical care or counseling, the child might be getting. The GAL also tracks all the case files and new developments. Sjostrom wants every bit of information.
The more whoever is speaking demonstrates preparation and care and careful consideration of the individual child and family's circumstances, that's really what's credible. A lot of times people think the louder they speak and the more excited they are, the more persuasive they are. I usually think exactly the opposite. I'm usually looking for somebody to try and tell me as clearly and plainly and as dispassionately the actual facts, and let me reach my own conclusions.
Although people often assume that the role of the dependency judge is to terminate the biological parent's rights, Sjostrom says Chapter 39 Florida statute sets out an explicit hierarchy for his options, and it starts with reunifying the family.
Explicit hierarchy, 39.621.3 says the permanency goals available under this chapter, and this is the important part, listed in order of preference, are reunification, then adoption, then permanent guardianship, then placement with a fit and willing relative, then placement in another planned permanent living arrangement, usually something like extended foster care.
And what advice does he have for a guardian ad litem helping him navigate these options? He says the court's first responsibility is to reunify the family as quickly as can safely be done.
What every child needs is a competent, committed adult. And the ideal competent, committed adult is the parent. So when we're looking out for the best interests of the child, if that's the first thing that the guardian ad litem has to assess, is what can I do to give this child the absolute best? The absolute gold standard is a competent, committed parent.
And so, he says, the guardian ad litem must ask, where is that child-parent relationship inadequate? Where does it need help? And is it getting the help?
We don't do things because we're trying to help the parent. We do things because we're trying to help the family.
To bring about the best outcome for a child, Sjostrom says, Guardian ad Litem volunteers should look no further than the oath he administers when they complete their training.
The first advice that I would give them is from their oath, the last line of their oath. And I can hardly even get through the oath for the Guardian ad Litems when I'm giving it because it's so meaningful to me. The last thing that they say in their oath is, I am for the child. And to me, it's just the most meaningful thing that we can ask of them. And what it means is that they look at that child and that family, they accept their unique circumstances, and they maximize what we can give to those children in our care. I am for the child. It's the most sacred oath that I know.
Well, we can't top that, so I'm done, gentlemen.